Secondly, I want you to think in terms of stamping the other person, stamping them right there as exceptional. It's important because people are picking up on your thinking. They're picking up on your thinking through nuances of body language and thought energy. They're picking up on it and they are responding appropriately. Joe Charbonneau. Joe Charbonneau was a friend of mine. He was a mentor of mine. He used to say to his audiences, you know, people are reading our minds at 7,200 images a minute. And he had all of his research done, by students, graduate students at Harvard University. Now, I want you to think about this. This is something that Joe Charbonneau would ask the audience, and I know I sat in that audience many years ago. He said, have you ever been to the home of a friend who's just had an argument with their spouse? And you know, there were a few of us that raised our hands. And he said, did you actually see the argument? And the people said, no, they hadn't seen the argument. And he said, you didn't see it, you what? And we said, well, we felt it. He said, right. And when you felt it, what did you feel like doing? Well, we felt like leaving. And he said, that's it. People are used to picking up on just slight nuances of body language. They sense, they feel, they see, they experience this full loop of body language that they've been used to reading ever since they were a little baby. Now, part of this is cultural, so there are mistakes that are made, but people are still picking up on. You have a circulatory system. If I have a problem with my circulatory system, it isn't going to have an impact on anybody but me. If you have a problem, it's not going to have an impact on anyone but you. But the limbic system of the brain, the emotional center of the brain, is not a closed loop system like the circulatory system is. It's an open loop system. That means, if it's an open loop system, that we depend on our interactions, all of our connections and interactions with other people for our own emotional stability. And what do people need today? They definitely need that sense of psychological safety, emotional stability. So your mood, especially if you are the leader, your mood, your feelings, your mindset, your belief about them is going to have a direct impact, not only on how they feel, but on how they actually perform. You see, our minds, our brains are like a heat-seeking missile. And that is, we create an assumption. We make an assumption about someone. Then we create a belief about them. And we set our locking system. We release it. It flies and boom, we hit it dead center every single time. Every single time. So what is it that you're thinking about someone else? What are your beliefs about someone else? Because this is exactly how it works. All beliefs are, and I have in quotation marks there, true. They're true for us. We believe they're true. All you have to do is look at the political scene today to know that people are trapped in their beliefs. So they make beliefs, they have us make assumptions, and that leads to what? That leads to an action. The action then leads to a result. The result leads to a conclusion, which of course comes right back to the fact that, yep, here it is. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. We always interpret the results to support the assumptions and the beliefs that we make. So here's my question. What assumptions are you making? What beliefs are you having about other people? Like, where are you putting your focus? Are you putting your focus on seeing them? And I say, as God sees them, as God sees all of us, as these perfect, brilliant, wonderful human beings with different gifts, different talents. Or are we looking and seeing them for all the flaws that, my goodness, anybody with eyes or ears to hear would pick out? That's unproductive. That's being the reactive, that is not someone who's led by a vision where they want their interactions to end up, no matter the situation, in an increase of trust, an increase in trust. So how might your beliefs, maybe it's time to examine them, how might your beliefs be creating for other people or sabotaging the very relationships you're going to need to be a high-performing, not company, but a very effective leader who runs a high-performing organization.